virgin daughters instead. So he's like, yeah, so he gets his 2 virgin daughters, and he brings his 2 beautiful virgin daughters out, and he's like, don't, like, fuck them. And they're like, no, we don't want your daughters. We want the guys, and if you don't get the fuck out of the way, you're going to get it too, right? So the 2 angels close the door for Lot, and they strike everybody outside in Sodom blind. And they're like, holy shit, everyone in this town is gay. God's gonna burn it down, so you should get the fuck out of here. And Lot's like, word? So he's like, yeah, you and your virgin daughters and whatever else you want to take with you, you gotta get the fuck out of here. So he's like, alright. So they all sleep on it for some reason, even though there's a bunch of blind Sodomites trying to get him in there. Sodomites! Oh my god.
Yeah.
Anyway, dude, Sodom.
Yeah,
Sodomites.
right, yeah.
Anyway, that didn't even strike me until just now. But
that's so funny.
But so then they wake up in the next morning, and Sodom's like, where do I go? Can you lead me? And they're like, yeah. So they lead him out of town, and then they get to the edge of town, and I always thought this was hilarious. The angels are like, go way over those hills and live somewhere far away. And he's like, that's far as fuck. He's like, can I just live in that town, like the next town over? And they're like, all right, whatever. And so he lives the next town over. It's a small ass town. They name it Zor or something. It's fucking Hebrew. I forget what it means. So, but then the whole point is, before God burns it down, I don't know if this story is before or after in the Bible, but it's right around this, where God then presents himself to Abraham, and he's like, Abraham, I'm going to burn down Sodom and Gomorrah. It's a bunch of facts. And Abraham's like, I think he's, doesn't explicitly mention this, but I think because he knows his son's brother Lot lives there, he's like, what about the innocent? You know what I mean? So he goes, God, what if there's 50 innocent people in Sodom? Surely you won't burn down the entire city, because you'll burn down 50 innocent people. That's impossible. You're almighty, you're all judgmental, you know that there's innocence. Surely you won't burn the innocent with the guilty, right? So God goes, okay, if there's 50 innocent people, I won't burn down Sodom. So then Abraham's like, shit, maybe I worded that wrong. But God, forgive me, your all humble almightiness, for speaking out of my turn. I, for am only man. But what if there's only 45 innocent people? Would you still burn down all of Sodom? And God's like, yeah, alright, 45, and I won't burn down Sodom, right? And he's like, ooh, God, forgive me. What if there's only 40?
And does it go all the way down to 1?
God's like, alright, if there's 40, I won't burn down. And then he's like, alright, God, forgive me for speaking out of line again. Ooh, what if there's only 20? And he keeps going, dude. Finally, they get to 10. And God's like, all right, I won't burn it down if there's 10 innocent people. And then Abraham's like, all right, good night. I was like, how the fuck are they not going to go to 1? I was like, does that mean they're going to burn like 5 or 6 innocent people? Or gays, rather? You know what I mean? I was just like, or straight people, I guess. But anyway, I was just tripping off that. I thought the whole time, they went from 50 to 10 and stopped at 10. I was like, how are you not going to go to 1? They just fucking settle on that, and then he rains sulfur down on Sodom and Gomorrah.
So there was 10 innocent people. So
what
it
if there was 10?
Yeah. There had to be 9 innocent people. Because he fucking killed the place.
Yeah, but that could have been just the Bible that I have. Who knows how many? Think about how many times the interpretation. You know what I mean?
Right.
But I just thought it was funny because the version I read, he argued God down from 50 to 10, and then they both called it a night, dude. It's so funny, dude. I had my mom like cracking up outside, dude. It's so funny.
That is ridiculous.
There's a lot of like crazy, like there's a lot of gay stuff, a lot of rape and incest. There's like there's purposeful incest, like a lot. Like a lot of the beginning of Genesis, all of
it
Noah,
had to be
a lot of Noah's descendants. Like it ends up being like Abraham and Isaac and all these descendants right down the line. Every time something happens, like. And he wants his son to marry someone, like, I'm pretty sure it was, like, I forget which one, what happened first, but I know it was, like, for instance, like, Isaac, I think it was Abraham's fucking son? I don't know, but he had to, yeah, I think Isaac is his first son with his wife, Sarah, because she was barren, like, his whole life, and he had most of his kids with her slave. So, like, since she was barren, she was like, have kids with my slave so we can have kids together. So he just banged his wife's slave so they could have kids. And then finally God's like, all right, now that you're 100 years old, now you can have a kid. She literally laughs at God, and God's like, are you laughing? And she's like, no. And he's like, yeah, you are. You were laughing. Like that's literally how that ended. When Sarah found out that she was gonna have a kid, she laughs. God's like, "Are you laughing?" She's like, "Nah." He's like, "Yeah, you were." It's so funny, dude. But then she has a kid, right? And then like later down the line, they want him to marry, and they're like, "Don't marry someone from the land. Marry someone from our homeland. Go find your ancestors and marry one of your ancestors." So he literally doesn't marry someone from where he is. He goes to another fucking place of Egypt, or in not Egypt, but somewhere out in, you know, like Mesopotamia or wherever the fuck. I think it was Mesopotamia. To go find his relatives, to marry one of his relatives on purpose. And it happens over and over again. They continue to do that. They continue to travel outside of where they live because they always leave and settle somewhere, and they go to find their relatives to go marry and bring them, either live there or bring them back. They usually make them bring them back because women are basically slaves back then. Like, people just gave their daughters and shit away. You know what I mean? But
I have a chair out back if you want to bring it out front.
Oh, there's a chair out
okay,
here.
I'm just hanging out. Thanks.
You want a beer?
Where's the hell that?
I'm drinking one.
I think I just finished it.
You want one?
Yeah, sure.
No.
Well, I got these chill wings, but I can.
Yeah, dude.